to be on top, let's say. But yeah, also weather condition is a bit tricky.
Into Francesco Guidotti, of course Tito Rabat, the other rider for Francesco Guidotti. P in Le Mans, lights out, away we go. A decent start off the line initially from Quartararo. Jack Miller though has got his fourth on the Idemitsu LTR Honda. He's going to hold that fourth place just. He wiped the noses of Marquez coming through turn number 3. Great start. Well, but he's just been buffed out wide a bit by the two Petronas Yamahas. Miller leads from Maverick Vinales. Marquez there, up to 4th, but he goes wide. And Honda on Honda, he picks up the Japanese man, and that allows Bagaimana to come through as well. So 3 Hondas engaged in an early battle here. On his teammate Morbidelli, he moves up into 7th. Bagaimana. Wow. Huge moment for Bagaimana coming out of turn number 10. Bucking famous dirt track riding skills from the Rossi Ranch. Morbidelli looked like he nearly hit Bagaimana. He's coming true on them as well. It's got very, very dark. Vinales takes the lead here. Miller got it loose coming out of 10th. Back of the 5th row. He's inside the top 4. Really feels like we're going to get rain here in France. This is the battle. But the lead's here in France ahead of his good pal off circuit, Jack Miller. Quartararo still 3rd. Valentino Rossi, well, for one of the 2 big French favourites in this Grand Prix. Johan Zarco, he's back down in 10th place. Nothing going for him. The virtual fan war from him. He's starting to reel back in Vinales and Miller ahead of him. Around turn 3 we go. The treacherous turn 3. 12 is Vinales, the race. And you know exactly what he's talking about. It's coming. There is Zarco then through La Chapelle. He's lost another place on that last lap. He's now down in 11th place. Not Simon Crayford down in pit lane says there are spots of rain now starting to fall. 25 laps to go, and we may well be well on. This is where the cream really rise to the top in terms of bravery. Jack Miller then trying to close up on Maverick Vinales, who's wide on exit. This section of the circuit where the riders are coming, they'll see those rain spots now on their visor, on the screens. Disconcerting to see. Big and brave from the Ducati rider. He leads. The spots of rain are getting bigger. Quartararo comes into the mix. He's way too hot. Here comes Miller again, having a look up the inside into turn 8 garage fair. You have to make sure this is put to the picture as well. Remember, he's got unbelievable flag-to-flag form, as Matt said at the start. Well, Jack Miller's wearing some black in the camera. The rain's starting to fall. There is Alex Rins. Oh, who's gone down there? Oh, is that Franco Morbidelli trying to restart somewhere? Miller on the last lap here at turn 3. He's made it through again. Brilliant by the Frenchman. We've got rain falling here. Tyres on 300 horsepower MotoGP bikes. This is going to be carnage. This is like dancing on ice. Yeah, it is. Look at slick tyres. And how dangerous this is for the riders out there on slick tyres. What will Fabio Quartararo got history? Rins follows in behind. Miller has just on the garage was. He made the bike swap quicker. He would have known that as well. The position of the teams in the pit lane there really favoured him. He can't have crashed on the exit of pit lane. No, that's a mistake, surely. Steve, how costly is that for me? He's just about to come into... There's Marquez. Where has Miller gone? Oh, Rins is down immediately. First corner. First time he's flicked it right out of the pit exit. 40 seconds for the factory Suzuki team. Mir and Rins both on the floor. This is going to be hard to keep up with, but Marquez leads here ahead of new tyres, new scenario. He was able to get out there, adjust the conditions, work out the grip levels, and he was so good. He's really hot into right back in the distance there. You can see Jack Miller in 3rd. Steve, just look at the trees in the background. Then our cameraman was being laps left. Further back here, Johan Zarco has climbed to 5th amongst them last year, as you just mentioned, Steve. Can he get through from 19th to 2nd this time around? Oh, what a nightmare this has turned out to be for Suzuki. Mechanics were just telling him to make sure he had the pit lane speed limiter engaged or not, but wow. What drama here. An awful long time ago since both Marquez and Honda tasted success in the MotoGP World Championship. The Ducati of Miller is in 3rd, Nakagami in 4th, then it's Zarco, Alex Marquez, Paul Espargaro. Vinales has sparked in the dry conditions, but he slipped back when he started to see the rain spots falling. This is Zarco, the number 5 in P5. It looks like it's going to be 3 races now on the spin without a point for Alex Rins. Double long lap penalty then for 63. Yeah, this is the man who leads the World Championship. It doesn't look like he will at the end of proceedings today. As it stands with Quartararo 2nd, he would take them out victorious. There's a lot of race though still to go, so we won't quite talk about that just yet. Jack Miller there, then within a certain amount of time. Oh, let's go with Marquez has gone down out of the lead at the final corner. Santi Hernandez and the Repsol Honda crew. Normally the master of mixed condition. Marquez goes down, all the rear coming round on him. Same as what happens in terms of
his movement. He says, if it's a long time out there or the track dries at all, the soft rear.
A flag-to-flag scenario creates just a loss of concentration there briefly for a millisecond by Quartararo. That's what enabled that versus Jack Miller. Quartararo's got a long lap penalty. It has just flashed up on our screens here. Fabio Quartararo has a long lap. Amy Simon, if you could check exactly why he's getting the penalty, that would help. But here comes the the move from Miller. Jack Miller, too long lap penalty. The road for Fabio Quartararo. It's taken Miller a couple laps maximum, not only to get on par, but to sweep on, go straight through. It looks like the rain's picked up slightly there, down at turn 8 as well. He'll hold on to second place because they've got 15 seconds to Miller at this stage of the race, and now with the long lap penalty, Luke, has that already been one of the key moments of this Grand Prix? Perhaps. I mean, it may well change more as yet. Jack Miller here would move up to 3rd overall and 20 points adrift, but it would be a... That's a shame as well, because Salvadori was fine. Paulus Spargaro. Oh, Oleh Spargaro, I think, has crashed, Matt. The Aprilia rider who's had such a great start to 20, which cost him a place in that decisive Q2. Really compromised his qualifying. That's why he started 13th place. Wet and dry conditions that he would be strong. The problem is now, of course, as the track does dry, and it will dry quickly because of that strong wind, whatsoever. Quartararo reported that yesterday. Oleh Spargaro, is that mechanical? Can't see any obvious damage to... See the replay here. Is it mechanical? For Aprilia, they found more horsepower but been able to keep the reliability, but not so both of their men out, and that was a top 6 gone.
He'll be in trouble because he's got the soft rear on. Fabio will be in trouble because he's got the soft front on. And it's like that. Kagami, Petrucci, Bagnaia, they're the guys on medium.
Simon, it's an excellent point, and immediately wet front and medium rear is over a second a lap quicker than both Miller and Quartararo. He just couldn't get the power to the ground like Zarco could do on the... As it stands, he'd have a 4-point lead over Bagnaia. However, Bagnaia is through on Nakagami, who's plummeting down the order. That last lap was Johan Zarco. This is a really good battle over KTM. What another brilliant rescue job this has been by Pecco Bagnaia. Started 16th, he came from 11th to the podium. Didn't really agree with that, Matt. A brilliant ride, especially in a race like this where it could go so wrong. Don't forget, it's his first ever flag to flag as well. Treacherous. Quartararo, I think, all things considered, would take 3rd place. That's how it would stand. Look at that, that's lovely. It's the line. He's got now 5.9 seconds to defend. Wasn't there some crazy stat after Jack Miller won in Spain a couple of weeks time out in Jerez? They could be making it back-to-back 1-2s here. They've never locked out a podium, but another 1-2 would be brilliant for the Bologna brand. Dream and move through on Alex Marquez, and that is exactly what he does. Pecco Bagnaia, then number 63, moves up into 4th place. Rookie battle in 2 weeks' time, off the back of back-to-back 1st and 2nd places. Doesn't really get... Here is Jack Miller then, who started the season off as one of the championship favourites. He's let the racing do the talking. Yeah, we saw last time out the relief etched all over Jack Miller's face. Miller's left end for Miller to negotiate, and he's on course for a famous victory here in France. He won in Moto3 here, and he's done it again. Cue pandemonium. Jack Miller, a brilliant ride in the Fast Factor flag race that we've had. Championship lead and 3rd, and he is delighted with that. Super pumped for the man who had arm pump surgery last time, Amelia. Great results further back. Bagnaia, excellent 4th, considering where he was on the grid. Here's Ikalekawona. He's a point heading into Italy. 16 points between Quartararo, Bagnaia, Zarco. He's on the canvas after the first 3 races, but he's come out swinging. Davide Tardozzi, the factory Ducati team manager, back-to-back 1-2s.
It was a bit of rain, but that's race, and Jack makes the difference.
Thank you.
Inside the top 3 very early on. Looks like he's...